Are you crazy? Or are you just mad?
Hello, 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 hello! And welcome to the Mad Musicians Against Depression podcast, where we discuss the latest news, research, and hot topics surrounding mental health. I'm Thomas Maher, and I'm joined in studio by my beautiful co-host, award-winning singer, songwriter, and presenter, Indiraa.
Indiraa! Where were you last week? You weren't here.
Oh, what do you mean?
Where were you?
I've come out of recovery, innit? So I've come out of recovery and I'm working so hard on myself. And one of the things I have to do is go for regular AA meetings and therapy meetings. And I'm doing everything I should do, and I feel fantastic.
Fantastic. That sounds great. But sounds to me like you also need to recover from recovery. You're doing so much recovery.
Well, I was told to do 90 meetings in 90 days, and I realized that was more stressful than recovery itself. Mm-hmm. And in a way, when you hear everybody's sad stories and then how they pulled out of it, there's a positive at the end, but you also feel, you come out feeling really sad.
Yeah.
But also when you hear people in drastic states, I think, oh my God, I never did what they were doing. I didn't start drinking it first thing in the morning, and I didn't drink more than a bottle of wine. What is wrong with these people? I was worried that I think I was better than them. Mm-hmm. So I decided, no, I go for 3 meetings, and I do Zoom sometimes, and I look at myself as me rather than worry about what everyone else is doing.
So you're a little bit like Noah and the Ark, really, aren't you? Because Noah he obviously built the Ark, and he tried to save X amount of animals on his journey to redemption. So you're a little bit like that. It's what we call Indira's Ark. You've taken all these strays.
Yes, I have. I mean, not really strays, but they're people who I met in rehab. And you can make very good friends in rehab. You can also make friends who land up being in a bad state and then it drags you down. Mm-hmm. And it happened with my group. A few of them one is back in rehab, one is missing now. She's just not in contact with any of us. She had obviously relapsed, and I mean that she told us, and then it just took a dive from there. So I'm just being careful who I'm vigilant, because I'm protecting myself, to be honest. And this is not a selfish thing to do. I'd like people to know you have to worry about. I was always worried about when I was drinking and all the rest of it. I punished myself when I was in rehab for what I'd done to my husband and Tom and Paul by being a drinker. And I stopped thinking of how badly I was treating myself. And one thing I've learned is I have to treat myself well.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And one of the prices you pay is you have to lose a lot of friends. And when I tell people, my house is now alcohol free, you know who your true friends are, because I threw great parties. Now we'll see who really lands up.
Yeah, but then again, I suppose, are you losing friends, or are you tightening up on the socialites?
No, I'm losing people who I thought were friends, put it that way.
Exactly,
and
they're not genuine friends.
My true friends are really very close-knit, and they're still there. There's actually, to be honest with you, no one has dropped out of my group. Nobody. Mm. They've all come for dry dinners and all the rest of it, and we've had a great time. I told them, have your drinks before you come, and it seems to work.
Of course, and why not? I mean, you've implemented a dry house now, and that's the way it's going to be permanently. There's no going back on that now. And that's not a problem for genuine friends, because they obviously got your best interests at mind and to heart.
And you know what? It is very calming. The house anyway doesn't have anything negative in it. And for me, that was a negativity. So
of course it was.
I'm happy.
And some people fed off that.
Yeah. And I know that, when people come, they can go and have their drinks wherever they want. They don't have to have it in my house. That's it.
And I think, look, like we said before, anyone who does need to have a drink or who can't come to a social gathering without a drink, they themselves have a problem.
Yeah.
So, and that's it. And, that highlights that. And I think it's the same thing with your group. when you came out of rehab, and obviously because the only thing in common you had with these people was the bond you bonded in rehab. But beyond that, outside rehab, there was no connection.
Well, exactly.
There's no connection, and but you just did that by choice. And I think you've learned now that obviously that being in rehab and being outside rehab with the same problems, because the problems just don't go away. You just manage them, you treat them, but things are completely different. And you know the knockback rates, people who don't continue with rehab and are not successful with it. I mean, there's a high ratio of people at that. So you say, like, for example, there's how many people in your group? Is 5 including yourself?
Well, there was 5, 3. One ran away halfway through, in 2 days. The other one wanted to, but she stuck it out. But she's been 6 times in rehab. So
what about the group though? The group you had, formed?
Yeah, that's it. She was 6 times in rehab. So there was 4 left when we left.
Yeah.
And now there's just 2 of us.
2. So that's a high ratio.
Yeah, and you know
that's
what?
Expected.
To be honest,
they are the figures. That is the figures, and that's the reality of it.
Yeah, and we really do rely on each other for, in the sense, she looks at me for strength, and I look at her for strength. And the funny part is, she's 21, I'm 66, and we can talk like 2 adults normally, and I don't feel any different to her, because she grew up way too young.
Yeah.
Addiction can do that.
Of course it does. And of course there's a big difference, isn't there, between being a therapist and treating someone's problem or allowing them to lean on you when they've got their issues, and trying to be a friend to somebody when they've got issues is completely different.
Yeah.
It's a different scenario. When you're a therapist, you can detach, you do 1 hour, you do whatever it is session wise, and you close the chapter until the next time.
And
but
they
as a
don't
friend,
know anything about you. The clients do not know anything about you.
And when you're a friend, trying to be a friend with somebody, you can never close that book, the chapter. You're on call 24/7, and it's a complete different thing. And when you're in a situation where you're vulnerable also, and you relying on other people for support, the last thing you want is people leaning on you.
Yeah, that's what happened in one of the cases is, when you speak to someone who's really out of it, you just think, I can't do this. Mm-hmm. There's no point telling me you're fine, and then when I speak to you, you're completely out of it,
Yeah. In denial, of course, that's what it is.
It's just But having said that, I think there's far more important things in the world going on now. I need to talk about aliens, but we have to do that in detail, because there's just too much going on out there.
Oh, you've got your friend Ellie, haven't you?
I've got Ellie the alien as my bestie, yeah.
Yeah. Quite cute, and she's green.
Yeah, she's great.
Is she Irish?
Well, she thinks she's Irish.
She's got Irish roots, has she?
No, she's actually Martian.
Martian?
She doesn't know. She's Martian all over the place.
I'm Mahersian as well.
You're Mahersian, and are you Mahersianing all over the place?
I'm a Maharaja Martian.
Oh, you're not. Stop it.
I am.
Oh, yeah, you are.
Oh, I am. So, Indiraa, welcome to the podcast, number 31 episode and season 1. We weren't here last week, I know. Forgive us. Thank you very much. We'll accept that. Sorry to disappoint, but at the way things are at the moment, there's a lot of things going on. If we miss one, so be it. But we'll try and get as consistent as we can. I think going forward we should be. We're going to try our utmost probably to do one, earlier in the week, so we don't get caught out on the weekend before it's released.
Yeah, I think that it's the week has been very crowded for both of us.
Exactly, it's coming near Christmas, and you just out of your therapy. You've had a lot of stuff going on. So
I'm so confused. I ordered 7 Christmas trees. Now, people, do not laugh. This is the truth. And Tom was going to, at the end of before Christmas, post pictures of all 7 trees.
There's 12 trees, I counted in total, in Paul's house, in the gym.
There's no need to get carried away now, Tom. We will not talk about the other ones. I'm talking about...
Do you know what 3 trees are?
4, 9, 6, 4, 3.
No. And
What?
you're supposed to be good at maths.
3 trees are 9.
No, it's a small forest.
Listen, I spent all of last night till 3 o'clock looking for aliens, and it's all your fault.
Yeah, but did you find any?
No, you left
That's your
house.
fault. That's your fault. See, I direct you in the right direction, but you can't find them. You see? Seeing is believing. Sometimes you have to believe to see.
Okay, I'm going to read now.
No. First of all, let's not get away ahead of ourselves.
No,
So we got 2 topics today to talk about. Which you're going to start us off on, and which is what's the headline of your topic?
Mine is the yoga pill. The
A
end
yoga
of
pill.
anxiety.
Ooh.
Yeah.
that could be a game changer. So it's a yoga pill.
Yeah.
That what does what essentially?
Well, researchers identified that where was it? Neuroscientists are saying that it's a pathway to instantly deflating anxiety.
Ooh.
And it helps you. I'm going to put most of it in my own words. Researchers have identified the brain pathway that regulates breathing and calms your mind. That's one. It can pave the path to new medications, so-called the yoga pill, to ease anxiety. The discovery of also grounds ancient wellness practices such as yoga. Being Indian, I'm very proud of this, and breath work in science. Now, the heart is racing, your arms are tingling, your breath is shallow, you're having an anxiety attack, and you're in a public place, a crowded restaurant, say in the office, not where you can comfortably lie down and start doing your deep breathing. What do you need? You need the yoga pill. So the neuroscientists at the Salk Institute of Biological Study in La Jolla, spelled Jolla, have identified the brain pathway that instantly deflates anxiety. The study was published in Nature Neuroscience, and it helps regulate your breathing, meaning your conscious breathing, as opposed to automatic breathing. So it happens. So although you are unconsciously doing a conscious thing, if you get what I mean. Because consciously, you can do breathe in, hold for 4, breathe out, which I do a lot of. I do it when I'm in the gym. I do it whenever I'm... But in this case, the pill does it for you. It regulates your breathing. So, it gives you basically, would mimic a relaxed state of mind, a state of your body and breathing, a meditative state like in yoga. So it's called the yoga pill, hence. And scientists are finding that never known before is always exciting. Los Angeles Times called it the top-down breathing circuit that has long-standing questioned the neuroscience field. It's exciting to find a neural mechanism to explain how slowing down the breathing can control negative emotions like anxiety and fear. And I highly recommend, if you're not taking the yoga pill yet, to start doing that for yourselves.
Well, they can't take it yet because it's not out.
Exactly. So what I'm trying to say, yet. That's why I said yet. Yes. So breathe in, hold for 4, breathe out. And it's not as hard as it sounds, because I've made it a part of my practice even when I'm jogging. So it's
even
not
you're
that...
joking?
Jogging.
Jogging, oh.
So they didn't understand, scientists, how this worked in your brain, the slowing of your breathing. Now they know that the group of cells in the cortex, the higher part of the brain, is responsible for more than conscious complex thought. It also sends messages to the brainstem, which tends to give information to the lungs, and that starts the circuit. So discovery validates the soothing behavioral practices of yoga, mindfulness, and even box breathing, which I was talking about, a technique that involves breathing, holding your breath for 4 seconds, counts in order to relieve the stress, and then let go. I found this practice pretty good. I'll tell you in a minute why. Practical applications makes the discovery very important. It potentially creates a whole new class of drugs, specifically target anxiety and disorder. Anxiety disorder, sorry, my mistake. And would differ from common anti-anxiety medications like Xanax and Lexapro, and targets multiple areas of the brain. This is going to, and has side effects. This is going to obviously only target what you need to target. If you're in panic, breathing techniques alone may not be sufficient, or you may not be in the right place to suppress anxiety, which is why this tablet's going to be very useful. So, now findings lead that the yoga pill's likely a long way off, but there's light at the end of the tunnel. I can also say that in terms of, now he says, I can say that in terms of stepping stones, we know the pathway, and it's an exciting first step. So there you go. Now, in terms of yoga, I have to say that when I was in rehab, I reconnected with the yoga side of me, which I did a lot in India.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm doing a lot more yoga. First thing in the morning, I do my brain yoga.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm also doing yoga when even in jogging or walking or anything, you can practice breathing. And of course, yoga stretches. And I've actually, Thomas, you'd be happy to know, I've actually, in the new year, got us a yoga teacher who is teaching me in rehab to come twice a week.
Okay.
And you can either come once or twice, whatever you want. And she'll be teaching me in the gym. And I think it's pretty good. She's going to go an hour and a half. There'll be breathing and there's going to be stuff for strengthening your body and inner core muscles and all the rest of it. So there you go.
Lovely. Sounds fantastic.
Yep.
So you've got it all sorted.
Yep. I rushed through all of that, but I had to tell you all, please start looking at all these things. I know I sound all, she's come back from rehab and it's all heebie-jeebie talk. It's really not. I had a lot of time with myself.
And the benefits of yoga have been documented for decades. And more recently for mental health. I mean, there's a lot of research out there for how it's, in combination, it's a lot of similar benefits.
Yoga just means really a study and the body study is what yoga is all about. So
I mean, the benefits of yoga are well known. A lot of, it's well documented. Huge amount of research out there.
Every field of human life has got a yoga. There's Kartavya yoga, which is your yoga of duty. Then there's Hatha yoga. There's all different types of yoga, but yoga just means the path of doing it. And yoga that the West knows of is the actual physical side of yoga.
Yeah, and there's mindfulness-based yoga.
Yeah, but there is a lot more to it. It's just
picking it's picking one that suits your needs and one that's going to obviously benefit you for what you want to do. So yes, fantastic. So that is a yoga pill that mimics the actions of the breath work and how it affects our mind. So in the breathing, so anxiety and panic attacks. So imagine that you can take a pill basically that will stave off or prevent any form of panic attack or any form of anxiety. It's an incredible find actually. That's kind of the holy grail.
Yeah.
Of anxiety, that is.
It's such a difference between anxiety is shallow breaths and frequent, and yoga is a slow breath, hold and release.
Well, the breath is everything, because if you start hyperventilating, just yourself, without just doing it, you will have anxiety.
Of course.
It will create anxiety.
And you can pass out when you hyperventilate.
Yeah, exactly.
As well.
That's right. And obviously holding your breath and shorter breaths and doing that, as I say, as a technique, breathing, yoga style, and it has the opposite effect. It brings your heart rate down. It staves off anxiety, and does all the opposite things. So this is what this pill is effectively going to do. It's going to hit it completely dead. So you just won't be able to suffer from anxiety.
Even if you're mad at somebody or anything, I find if you just breathe, hold and release, that moment passes. And I learned that in terms of, people said, okay, you're sitting down, someone is drinking in front of you and it bothers you. Take a breath, hold it, let go and see what happens. And it actually works. You kind of the thought moves on.
Yeah, that's what I always say. Don't react, respond. And that is, you've got to take stock, take time, take a deep breath.
You're a responder.
I am, yeah. I'm a responder.
Yeah. We're both not very normal, you know that, right?
No, you're not. Our listeners know that. They know you're not. But
listeners, do you think Thomas is normal? Come on. Please send your messages back in.
He's abnormal.
And if you don't send messages, I'll think there's no one listening to us, in which case I'm talking to myself.
I prefer Tesco's. So send all your messages from Tesco's, please. Thank you. And I'll give you my shopping list.
Oh, my goodness. Well, every little helps, so it's okay.
Exactly. That's right. Okay, so I have one.
Go for it.
And the headline is Doom Scrolling on your phone makes you depressed, new study finds.
Oh, you mean like this?
Yeah, it's exactly what you do all the time.
Rubbish.
Okay, so new research has revealed that doom scrolling too much on your phone can make you feel more depressed. A study carried out by scientists at the University College London, UCL, has found that Many have suspected since the rise of smartphones that using them too much in the wrong way can make you feel much worse. Doom scrolling typically occurs when people consume negative or depressing content on social media for excessive periods of time. The research published in the Journal of Nature Human Behaviour suggests that those who have worse mental health are more likely to read negative content online. In turn, the researchers also found that people being shown negative content were made to feel worse. The series of experiments involved 1,000 people who went under psychological tests and were then made to browse the internet for 30 minutes before providing their history. The researchers then analysed the language used on the websites in their search history, which revealed those with worse mental health viewed negative content. Further tests, in which researchers changed the websites individuals read, sought to figure out whether the pattern was cause or effect. It found that there was an element of both, and that people who were given more negative content to read felt worse before going on to find more negative content in a destructive spiral. The study used information found in participants' browsers' history, but could not assess social media use due to issues with accessing the history of password-protected websites. Lots of people are saying that there is a correlation between poor mental health and internet use. Tali Shara, Professor of Cognitive Neuroscience at University College London, who authored a study, told The Times, "We spend many hours online, and as humans, we only just started doing so in the last few years. It is causing problems." Sharot has helped create an app to help people make better choices in the content they consume online. Our idea is we need to have more awareness about what we are consuming before we consume. It is analogous to the supermarket. Supermarket, she told The Times. Well, see, it is Tesco's. I was right. I was on the right track. If you buy a chocolate bar, it tells you on the label how much sugar, fat and salt it has. Then you can make a decision. And the decision is different based on your goals. If you are running a marathon, you want high calories. If you are concerned about your weight, you don't. And that is it. Makes sense, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So would you say you doom scroll?
No.
No. Did you get the essence of that article?
Absolutely.
So tell me, please, what the essence of that article is.
Yeah, article means people who do that tend to be doing it because they've got negativity and they look at negativity, which seems to feed the negativity.
Yes, they're drawn to it.
Yeah. So it's like, I used to watch the Crime Channel all the time.
Yeah.
And I used to watch the news and
all morbid stuff.
All the time. And it would be on 24/7. I am now, don't laugh guys, I watch Christmas movies and just light-hearted movies when I'm in the room in the evening, because I feel happy. I don't worry about the sad things in the world, although I do care about what's happening. When I pray for everybody and try and do what I can do. But beyond that, I think it's important to not pursue negative things. And, there's a lot of fickle crap on
there sure
phones.
Is. There's a lot of it. There's too much of it indeed, if you ask me.
And really, the only filters you should be using is the filters before you say something.
That's right. Exactly. And not the ones in your cigarettes.
I was talking about cameras and stuff. It's demoralizing kids.
Yes, it is. Absolutely 100%.
Because they see themselves with filters and then they look in the mirror and they get upset.
Yeah, very good. Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
So that link and the previous link, as always, be included in the show notes, so you can go read the article for yourself if you so wish. We will provide them for you.
I want to tell you, I love you, Thomas.
I know you do, yeah.
Yeah. You have brought so much happiness and so much knowledge to me by doing this podcast. The podcast makes me very happy.
Yeah, you're very good at it because you retain information better than I do, to be fair. And yeah, you do. It's true. It's true. So I have to keep going back.
You thought I wasn't listening to you just now, didn't you?
Yeah, I tried to cut you out. I almost got you.
No, I was listening. I
thought you were doom scrolling while I was reading it out.
No, I wasn't. I was just congratulating my friend who's gone back into rehab for as of today.
Which friend is that? Who's
Kate
this?
checked herself back in.
Okay, well that's good.
Yeah, I'm very proud of her.
Well, let's just hope that when she does do them on,
no,
then
this
she gets
takes
better.
a lot.
Yeah, but I was
takes a
hoping when
lot.
she gets this time, there's maybe a little bit better support
Well,
for her
I
when she
think
gets
what
out there.
happened is she got the wrong doctor, and she and the doctor clashed from day one. So a month of clashing with the psychiatrist is a big problem. So
Why, you should never clash with your psychiatrist. I mean,
they give you the psychiatrist, and she kept saying that I'm not getting on with him.
But the psychiatrist should stand down
Well,
at
you
that
know,
stage.
he was an Indian psychiatrist, and I kept telling her, I said that you need to say something, and she said, I don't want him to think I'm, doing this for
But that's down to the
racist
psychiatrist, not
reasons.
her.
But he was a bit of a twat anyway.
But that's down to the psychiatrist. If he knows there's not a rapport between himself and the client, then he needs to refer to someone else. That's not good. That's not good. But hopefully this time she's going to find someone that clicks with her. Okay, is it time for dee 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 dee? It is that time, folks. We got a UFO story for you. Shall I read it out?
Yes,
Indiraa?
please.
Since you love your UFO story. Okay, it's an exclusive from the Daily Mirror. Britain's first alien abduction victim recalls horrific encounter with a UFO. Retired police officer Alan Godfrey says the encounter occurred while he was on patrol in Todmorden, West Yorks in the early hours of November 28, 1980. Sighting of UFOs are regularly made, especially from alien corridors or areas of frequent reports of unexplained phenomena. Okay, and while most of the associated extraterrestrial activity with places like Roswell in New Mexico, one of the world's UFOs hotspot, is Scotland's Falkirk Triangle. We've heard about Falkirk Triangle many times, right? Here, Malcolm Robinson, founder of Strange Phenomena Investigation Scotland, the country's oldest UFO society, which celebrates its 45th anniversary this month, which was last month, November, has picked his top 10 British UFO sightings. His number one is the Randlesham Forest incident. Remember that one? It's a military base.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. It was a very good one. In December 1980, a series of unexplained lights near the Suffolk Forest led to speculation that UFOs had landed on British soil. The events occurred just outside RAF Woodbridge, which was being used at the time by the United States Air Force, USF. The sightings were given more credence as one of the eyewitnesses was US Deputy Base Commander Lieutenant Colonel Charles Holt. Holt and his team initially thought the lights they could see descending in the forest were a downed aircraft. When they went to investigate, they witnessed a glowing object that was metallic in appearance with coloured lights. As they attempted to approach the object, it appeared to move through the trees. And the animals on a nearby farm went into a frenzy. They went crazy.
And they
went mad.
They left a whole load of stuff, didn't they?
Yeah, they went mad. Yeah.
Debris.
Yeah. The next day, servicemen returned to a small clearing near the strange edge of the forest and found 3 small impressions on the ground in a triangular pattern, as well as burn marks and broken branches on nearby trees.
There you go.
Yeah. Skeptics have explained the sightings as a meteor, a fireball, and here's one which we thought was the funniest when we watched the programme, or even a nearby lighthouse.
I know. Oh my God, that was so bad.
Experienced
A
servicemen.
general or something. What was his name?
Colonel. They mistook a lighthouse for an alien UFO. Please, God Almighty.
No, they mistook the alien UFO as
Yeah, exactly.
They thought the lighthouse was a UFO.
They did. Yes, they
They're
did.
stupid.
Yeah, they are. The next one is Douchmont Woods sighting. Douchmont. On the 9th of November 1979, Bob Taylor, a forestry worker, had an alleged encounter with a UFO in a clearing on Douchmont Law in Livingston, West Lothian. Douchmont, I'm calling it Douchmont. It sounds a bit German. But anyway, he was walking his dog when he was confronted by a large circular spear, or what he later described as a flying dome hovering above the forest floor. The object was dark and metallic with a rough texture like sandpaper and had small propellers on its outer rim. Let's go down here then. And then we have another one, which is number 3, the A70 alien abductions. Friends Gary Wood and Colin Wright were travelling from Edinburgh to Tarbrax one evening in 1992 when they were stopped in their tracks by a black object hovering above them in the sky. The pair blacked out for what they thought was about 10 to 15 seconds, but when they awoke, their car was facing in the wrong direction and they had lost 90 minutes. Bloody hell. Complete distortion of time. So disturbed they were by the experience that they even underwent hypnotic regression and claimed to recall that they had been abducted by alien creatures and subject to examinations. Wow. The Bonnybridge UFO sightings. So prevalent that one's actually missing. So prevalent are reports of UFO activity in this Scottish village that campaigners have made representations to 4 different prime ministers for an official government investigation. It started back in 1992 when local man James Walker noticed unidentified lights over Bonnybridge. Since then, the village has become the scene of numerous sightings every year. We need to go there.
Yeah.
Ufologists claim that Bonnybridge is the world's #1 UFO location. Wow, Bonnybridge. Okay, we need to go there.
We have to
With
go.
an average of around 300 sightings a year. Local Bonnybridge councillor Billy Buchanan teamed up with Malcolm Robinson to investigate these sightings, visiting 10 Downing Street on numerous occasions. Was he visiting 10 Downing Street for? Is that where the aliens are supposed to be lodged up?
They are aliens.
Yeah. Asking for a government investigation. So far, all has been quiet from the government, yeah. The Broadhaven Triangle. This is one in 1977. And then we have the Lakenheath and Bentwaters UFO sightings. Ooh. It's number 6. There's so many of them. Oh, this is my personal favourite. The Calvine incident. This is my favourite one. I'll read this out. On the 4th of August 1990 at around 9 p.m, a diamond object estimated to be 100 feet wide was seen and photographed by 2 men near Calvine Park and Kinross, Scotland. It was reported as hovering silently in place for 10 minutes before rising rapidly in the sky. Yeah. The sighting became as known as the Calvine UFO and attracted worldwide attention when a copy of one of its 6 original photographs, which had been kept for more than 30 years by former RAF press officer Craig Lindsay, was discovered and published by David Clark. If genuine, the photograph is considered by some as the best UFO photograph ever published. We saw that one.
Yeah.
With the jet, the military jet behind it in the background. Yeah, it's a genuine. It was proven genuine. It's a phenomenal.
Do you remember the picture disappeared or something?
Yeah, it did. Yeah. Came back 30 years later. Yeah. That was Nick Pope. Nick Pope, who worked for the MOD at the time. He was the UFO investigator, the front desk off. They were given a copy of that photograph.
And that blow up
30
picture,
years.
they'd done a big thing and put it in the office.
And they had to put it on the wall.
And it disappeared.
And it disappeared, yeah. But they found it again years later.
See, I do listen to you.
You listen to the documentary you saw.
Yeah, and you.
Yeah.
You are the documentary.
Yeah.
You're the second version of the documentary.
Yeah. Okay, so what another? Okay, so the Alan Godfrey incident. This is the one I'm going to wrap this one up on because it's a very, very, very good one. Okay. The Alan Godfrey incident. In November 1980, police officer Alan Godfrey claimed to have been abducted by an alien spacecraft in Todmorden, West Yorkshire. You remember this one too. PC Godfrey had been sent out at 5 a.m. to deal with a call about escaped cattle on a housing estate. But he was stopped dead in his tracks by what he claimed was an unidentified flying object, a rotating diamond-shaped vessel, 20 feet high and 14 feet wide. He quickly sketched the craft in his notebook and grabbed his radio to call the incident in. But the line went dead and the craft disappeared in a flash, with Godfrey finding himself sitting in his car 30 yards further down the road. Looking at his watch, the policeman was surprised to see it was 25 minutes later than it had been just moments before.
I remember that.
Yeah. Weirder still, his boot was split open and an itchy mark had appeared on one of his feet. When he reported his close encounter, he was met with ridicule and disbelief. He underwent hypnosis and claimed he had been in a strange room being examined by several little creatures and a tall, humanoid figure with a beard. Again, his claims were derided, and he later said he had been hounded out of the police by refusing to give up his story. Oh, it's sad. It happens all the time. That's why we don't get all the truth. Okay, so there's another couple of ones in that. Read that for yourself, folks. There's a lot of different instances, but that's actually, I'm going to mark this one because this is actually gives you the top 10 or 12, 14, 15 sightings and top stories.
Anyway, we've got to catch up on a few of them. I've got them all on Series Link now.
Yes,
on our Alien channel.
Yes, that's Alien Discoveries or something, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really good.
The news on that's where on Sky. Yeah, it's on Sky, one of the Sky channels. We've been watching that. It's really good, actually. So that's good. So now you can tonight you can. Oh no, tonight you're out, so you won't be doing any stargazing tonight. No, Any stargazing?
Of
You
course.
won't be. No, you won't because you're out tonight.
Yeah, but you're there, so we'll
From your
stargaze
hotel
together.
room. You're in your hotel room tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was interesting. I really enjoyed that UFO, Ewan. That was nice, wasn't it? Are you doom scrolling over there?
No, I'm
What are you doing?
actually telling my friend how proud I am of her that she's checked herself back in, not just as a general patient, but she's gone back into ATP. So
Okay,
her phone
cool.
is being taken from her in 2 minutes. Hence, she sent me a message, and I said I was just telling her how proud I am. That's all.
Good.
And you know, I was the oldest in the group, so it's kind of.
You're the mama. You're the mentor. You're the mentor to everybody. Everyone looks up to you. Indiraa.
Yeah.
No? So, okay, while you're busy texting your friend that's just come back into rehab, I'm going to play us out on a track that I heard on, again, Radio Caroline. Radio Caroline gets so much promo
I
from
know.
us. Yeah, we shout them out a lot. So this is a song called Needle in the Groove by Mama's Boys, is it? Mama's Boys? Plug it in. Mama's Boys is the name of the band? I think so. Anyway, hope you like it. And until next time, from myself and Indiraa,
Yes.
take care. We'll see you soon. Bye.
Well, my lady, she loves to move when the needle's in the groove. She takes the vinyl from the cover. She controls the tempo and the mood. Sometimes she likes it powerful and forceful.
Well, folks, on that note, that's where we're going to leave it for today. Hope you've enjoyed the show as much as we have, and we look forward to bringing you more of the latest news and hot topics surrounding mental health on our next show. Remember, new episodes of the Mad Podcast drop every Sunday at 6 p.m. Episodes are available to listen to on Spotify, Apple Music, and of course, the Musicians Against Depression website, an online toolbox that contains a wealth of information, essential reading, and links relating to mental health. As always, if you or someone you know would like to join the conversation, either in studio or remotely, email us at musiciansagainstdepression@gmail.com or visit the MAD website at www.musiciansagainstdepression.uk for further info. All links, including social media, are provided in the show notes. And remember, no problem in life is insurmountable, and help is just a conversation away. Until the next time, from myself and the wonderful Indiraa, take care.